Hello everybody, Kate Krieg with you again for my weekly live Deeply Connected event. Now, for those of you who don't know, I help professionals achieve their biggest vision and reduce their stress and burnout and overcome some of their biggest challenges, being their mindset, their energy, and their time. And what I want to talk to you about today is what I've called the art of focus. And I really feel like this is one of the lost forms of success in our life, and especially because we're actually so distracted all the time. We're constantly having notifications or people or social media, emails, and other things take our focus away from us, which then means that we fall more and more behind. We become less and less connected to where we're going, and we actually don't spend the time we need on the things that are going to enable us and fuel us to achieve our success. So the very first tip I want to give you, and the very first thing I want to ask you, is for you to make a decision on what is going to fuel your success, or what is success for you. Because a lot of us, we just spend our time wandering around and not really thinking about, well, if I was to continue doing these actions for every day for the next year or so, where will I be? And is it okay where I'm going to be? Am I happy with that? Is that what I want? Because more often than not, I end up coaching the person who says, I have nowhere near achieved what I really knew that I was destined to achieve. So much so that I now am starting to feel that I'm never going to be able to be the person that I want to be. And so what I want you to do is consider, what are the actions I'm taking today, and are they going to align to achieve my future version of myself, the ideal vision that I have for me. So taking some time would look like you sitting down and reflecting on that. Where do I want to go? And what are my current actions? And do they align with who I want to be? It's going to be an important tool on your journey that you continue to do this, because a lot of people only do it once, and then they might achieve the goals that they set, or they may not, because a lot of people don't achieve their goals, especially without the support and guidance and constant community help that you get. But I want you to keep revisiting, where am I going, and is this okay? And I do this with so much love, because I have so many people, like I say to me, I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and I wish I did stuff back then to enable me today. So that's the first thing I want you to do, is consider, what do I want to be achieving, and when do I want to achieve that by? The second thing I want you to consider is, what actions do I want to be taking, or do I need to take? What are my actions and behaviors in order to actually get to that goal? So many people are very focused on, which is great, that ideal outcome, what I want to achieve, what I want to be, do, or have. The next stage is very much important to break down, to say, well, what do I need to do to get there, so that you can start to create a focused plan. And it was Mark McCormack who wrote the book, What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School, I'm pretty sure. What he did is analyzed all of the MBA cohort that have already graduated. And what he wanted to do is analyze those that were most successful, those that had achieved the things that they set out to achieve, and those that didn't. And what he wanted to know is what separated the two people, what separated the people. And what he found is that the people who had achieved all their goals were the ones that actually had broken it down into a daily action plan, and so that they were really clear about the aligned actions, aligned behaviors they needed to take in order to achieve that future version of themselves. The people that hadn't are the people that didn't achieve their goals. So it's really important for you to become crystal clear on not only where you're going and what you're wanting to focus on, but also breaking that down to figure out, what are the actions and behaviors and mindset do you need to adopt and to focus on in order to become that version of yourself? So once you've done those two things, you're in a really good place. And I know it might be, it's fairly easy to come up with a goal or something that you want to do. It is a little bit more difficult. I spend quite a bit of time with my clients who are figuring out, well, what do I need to do each day in order to get there? And Even if you want to not reach out to 12 months or beyond, maybe you just want to do, well, what does the next 3 months look like for me? If I was to achieve anything or be or do or have, or, you know, have this version of myself, this ideal vision in 3 months' time, what would I need to be doing differently today? Or what do I need to maintain today in order to get there? These are the things I'm asking myself all the time. If I want to achieve that, what do I do today? If I want to achieve that, what do I want to do today? One of my a beautiful tool that you can adopt as well is what I call For Focus, FOUR, focus. And what this is a tool that you write down in the morning. So if you're having a morning ritual, you can do it of an evening. What are the 4 focus items you're going to be doing the next day or that day that will enable you to achieve that outcome that you're looking for here, that ideal version of yourself? So then you could say, if I did nothing more today or tomorrow, whenever you're doing it, if I did nothing more than these 4 things here, I'm going to be well on my way to achieving my goal. And what you want to be thinking about in that time as well is, are these things enough to propel you forward, to get you out of your comfort zone, to lean into some discomfort? Because once you start to challenge yourself in that way, you're getting to an optimum level of performance and an optimum level of stress, so that it propels you and motivates you to keep going forward. I always have that question in the back of my mind. You know, I've got a vision for myself, right? I've got a vision for who I want to be and how I want to positively impact the world. And I'm constantly thinking about, well, what does that look like when I'm 40, when I'm 45, when I'm 50? And what am I doing today to really enable that development of self? And my actions today, we want to have that golden thread in your life. Well, how do my actions today, how I spend my time, what I'm consuming with my eyes, you know, what I'm reading, what I'm listening to, you know, how I'm moving my body, how I'm interacting with people, what's the quality of my thinking, what are my daily decisions that I'm making, what boundaries am I setting, what am I saying yes to, what am I saying no to? You know, I have a real, you know, I've developed a mindset to be able to consistently apply myself to that style of thinking. And each day I'm wanting to tackle some of the big things to enable me to have that golden thread. So I don't get to, you know, my future self and go, oh my gosh, I wish I did that way back then, because that's often what people are coming to me about. I wish I did that back then. So the next thing I want you to do is, once you've decided some of the 4 focus activities that you want to be implementing to enable you to get to your future self, whenever that may be, I want you to be present with the tasks at hand that you set for yourself. So what that looks like is by carving out some special time just for you. Now, a lot of performance psychologists and other people talk about blocks of time, no more than 50 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, you sort of, the sweet spot allegedly is around 45 minutes. So carve out that time to yourself, distraction free. It takes a really long time for your mind to come back and focus on what you were doing, something in the order of 10 plus minutes to refocus where you were when you're really submerged into that, in that activity. If your mind has wandered off, or you've been asked to do something, or you've been distracted by a notification or something. So I often put my phone on flight mode, and I turn off all my computer notifications, and I make sure that I'm giving myself the designated, deserved time and spaciousness to focus on the things that are going to enable me. So give yourself some uninterrupted quality time to be with yourself, to be fully present. The other thing I want to say to you is, your mind will wander off. You'll naturally want to be, something will pop into your mind, and that's okay. What we want to do is we want to gently guide your mind back to where you are in the present moment. You might find that a task pops into your mind and you think, oh, that's right, I really wanted to do that. What we want to do is we want to get into the habit of maybe writing down that task so you don't forget, so you can remember, and gently bringing your mind back to the task at hand. It's very similar to the whole point of meditating, where your mind wanders off and you gently bring it back again. Your mind wanders off and you gently bring it back again. That movement is like an exercise, right? We're retraining our brains to keep focusing, and that it's okay. Your mind's going to wander off, but we just want to keep bringing it back gently to the present moment, to the task at hand, to focus on what we're doing. So it will naturally wander off, and that is okay. But the trick is, or the tool is catching yourself in that moment and bringing yourself gently back to the present moment so you can continue focusing what it is that you are focusing on. So what I'm trying to say here is the acknowledgement of your mind wandering off, tasks coming into your mind, other activities, other pressures, other concerns is a normal part of the process, and it's part of you retraining your brain to focus and to refocus and to refocus and to refocus. That's part of the process. It's a beautiful tool you can use rather than looking at it as a source of frustration. It's the acknowledgement, it's the awareness. Oh, that just happened, and now I'm bringing myself back to the present moment. And when you come back, that is the skill. That's the retraining in itself. So I want you to consider how you can adopt some of this in your life, and also how you can reduce some of the distractions. When you get to the 50-minute mark, the 3/4 of an hour mark, give yourself a break. If you can give yourself a break for 5 or so minutes, beautiful if you can. And I know that might be a stretch for some people, but even if it's just closing down your eyes for 30 seconds and taking a couple of deep breaths, that is a beautiful opportunity of refocus and a beautiful opportunity of recentering yourself and bringing yourself back. So a moment of pause, a moment of spaciousness by giving yourself that 30 seconds or 5 minutes to grab a cup of tea or something else is brilliant. But I also want you to celebrate what you've just focused on and what you've just done, because a lot of us just rush through our day and we don't actually acknowledge what we've achieved and acknowledge our ability to focus and apply ourselves. That's a moment of celebration. So just acknowledge yourself in some way, whether or not it's a woohoo or whether it's just a gentle moment of, feeling proud and acknowledging yourself. So give yourself a moment of recognition at the end of each of those tasks. So anyway, this is some of the biggest tools that will enable you to focus a lot more. I hope you found that helpful, and feel free to write any questions or anything or comments below. And I look forward to seeing you for another weekly session next week. Okay, have a beautiful week. We'll see you then. Bye.